Hi everybody, it's Kathy. Can you believe that I am actually here doing a live instead of Lynn? I hope you don't miss Lynn, but I have some really fun things to share with you today. Let me start our theme music in the background. Winnie the Pooh, cubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh, cubby little silly old bear. Why in the world am I doing that? Well, that's because I want to tell you about the Silly Old Bear Suite that's on online exclusives. Right now it's not orderable, but it should be orderable starting July 15th. I'm going to show you the suite. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my online class, and then I'm going to make a card with the suite. So let me see if I can get this thing going. Hey, Lydia, thanks for joining me. All right, I don't know if I'll be able to see anybody else, but let's flip this down, see if I can get it in here without turning my phone off. Oh, look, she does technology. You know, when you only do this once every blue moon, it's kind of hard. So the first thing I want to show you, these are all the things that come in the Silly Old Bear or something. Hold on, let me look at my cheat sheet. It is the Silly Old Bear Suite Collection. So this is the whole thing. And I'm going to show you the designer series paper, the stamp sets and dies, and the 3D embossing folder. And we're going to use all of that today. So this is the Silly Old Bear 12 by 12 designer series paper. And I'm going to show you all the sides of it. And I want you to see this really is Winnie the Pooh. This isn't something that looks like Winnie the Pooh. These designs are Winnie the Pooh. In the United States, the copyright for that has expired, so it's in the public domain. And so Stampin' Up! Was able to use these images without getting into any copyright trouble. But they're only available in the United States, so we're the lucky ones. Let me just make sure I'm on here. I think I am because it said Lydia's watching. I am. Okay, so let me get in the screen a little bit better. So there's these nice scenes that can be cut out and used as background on cards. And then that's the background paper, the other side of it with the images of all the Winnie the Pooh characters. Here's some more Winnie the Pooh characters. Some of these can be cut out with the die. Some of them have to be fussy cut, my fave. And this has some pink, and don't ask me the colors, I don't know. Pink gingham backing. The next one are these pictures from Winnie the Pooh, and all of these shapes can be cut out with the matching dies. And the back of that is stripes, and who doesn't love some mattress stripes? I know I do. And then there's this beautiful picture of the 100 Acre Woods, and you can see Winnie's in the tree in a couple of them. And on the other side of that is the map of the 100 Acre Woods. It's just like from the inside of the book. If you had these books when you were a kid, the inside covers had the 100 Acre Woods. And more Pooh characters with a cute little Eeyore and Tigger and Piglet and I don't remember the rest of them. Roo, Kanga and Roo. So there's those guys, and on the back of that's this pretty blue sky. And then some more really cute. Oh yeah, the rabbit's name is Rabbit. Very good. Thank you for helping me out here, Stampin' Up! And then on the back of that is this another pattern paper. So all the paper is just gorgeous, and we're going to be using it in my online class, which I'm going to tell you about after I show you everything. So there's a Sweet Old Friends stamp set. And again, here's the images that you can stamp and color. And then there's the dies that go with them that cut out the images here and some of them on the designer series paper. And then there's, of course, some extra dies, this honeycomb, this honey pot with the honey that drips over it. It's very, very cute. So that is a suite, and it's the Sweet Old Friends stamp set and dies. And then there's another stamp set suite. It's called Sweet Words and Labels. So it has some sentiments, and then these label shapes. you can stamp, of course, but they're also the same ones that we saw on that piece of designer series paper, plus a bunch of extra ones. And then there's oak leaves, and then you can build yourself some acorns and really make some great things with this. And this one is called the Sweet Words and Labels Suite. All right. And then here, I love this, is a giant 3D embossing folder. And I put a piece of black cardstock in there so you can see it. And it embosses the 100 Acre Woods. And it is so, so nice. And we're going to use this on our card today and on the sample card that I'm going to show you. So in the silly, let me get this right, because in the Silly Old Bear Sweet Collection, you get the 3D embossing folder. You get the Sweet Words and Labels stamp set and dies. You get the Sweet Old Friends stamp set and dies. And I'm not going to bring it all over here, but you get the designer series paper. That's the entire suite. And you can purchase that together and get everything you need to make the class. Again, I'm going to tell you about the class. Or if you don't want all that, you can buy either of these suites. I guess these are sets separately. And then the 100 Acre Wood 3D embossing folder. So let me show you, let me tell you about my class. I'm going to put it here. It's a lot of writing. I'm going to definitely send it out in the newsletter, and I will send out an extra email that's only about this class. But I'm going to do this class online. So what you're going to get, and I'll tell you what the pricing options are. What you're going to get in my online is you're going to get an exclusive online link to a YouTube page that only you will be able to access. And I'm going to demonstrate and show you how to put together 4 cards and 1 3D item using these products. Now, the cards I'm going to show you today are fairly simple. The cards in this tutorial, excuse me, that's my coffee kicking in. The cards in the tutorial are going to be a little stepped up. They are not just going to be plain Jane, but they will be stepped up. So here is what you can do. There's three options. The first option, option number 1, is I Want It All. It costs $150 plus tax and tip. Tax and shipping. And if it comes to my house, then it's going to be an extra $8 to mail the supplies to your house. So what you would get if for the I Want It All option for $150 plus shipping and tax is everything I showed you, the whole kit and caboodle, the Sweet Old Friends stamp set and dies, the Sweet Words and Labels stamp set and dies, the 100 Acre Wood 3D embossing folder, and the Silly Old Bear Designer Series paper. And you will get a free full color tutorial, a link to the exclusive YouTube channel, and all card parts for the projects we're going to make. And that's going to include the cardstock, the die cuts, the ribbon, the embellishments, and everything you need to make your 4 cards and 1 bonus product. I typed that wrong, but it's 4 cards, 1 bonus project. Option 2 is I only want some of it. And that would mean you would buy just 1 or 2 of the sets. You would either buy the Sweet Words and Labels, or you would buy the Sweet Old Friends. And with that costs $80 plus shipping and tax, and then $8 to ship the card and project parts to you if you aren't local to me. And that with that, you will get, again, the full color tutorial, the access to the YouTube channel, and all the card parts to make the projects. And then option 3 is, hey, Kathy, I already bought all that and I have it in my store. I just really need, in my craft room, and I really just need the tutorial. So for $15, you can buy just the tutorial, which would mean you would get all the card parts, the PDF, and the YouTube video, access to the YouTube video, and that will cost $15. Local pickup, if I have to mail it to you, it's an extra $8. So you have 3 options. I went through that really quickly, but I will put it out in the newsletter, and we'll also get a separate email explaining everything you get with the online class. Now, again, if you want to purchase these items, they come, they're not going to be back in stock until July 15th. So what is that? Almost a couple weeks from now. If you want me to order them for you, because I can just be there ready to like hit the button, let me know. So let's you can contact me by email, or you can drop a comment or give us send us an email. You can send us a direct message via Facebook, and I'll put you on the list for this. So more details in the mail coming. If you're not on our newsletter, send us a message through Facebook, and we will add you to our newsletter where you can get tips and tricks and know what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World. We don't spam you very often. You definitely get one a month when we do it on time. And then if we have different special classes, you'll get the class information. And if Stampin' Up! Comes up with some kind of fabulous offer, then we'll pop in there and let you know that. So there's not a lot of email. If you want to sign up for our list and you're not already on our list, send us a message through Facebook and we'll get you right on the list. Okay, that's enough advertising for now. I'll come back to that at the end. I want to show you one of the cute cards that actually my friend Jody made this, but we made a similar card in the, let me take it out of the shiny paper. We made a similar card at our new catalog open house. Well, I hate that rattly paper on here. But here it is. So it's just really simple. It's got the 3D embossing folder. It's tone on tone. We stamped Winnie and Piglet and colored them, cut it out with the die, popped it up on dimensionals, and added a sentiment and a couple of in-color butterflies. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have any really current embellishments, but let me hold up to the camera a little bit. But you will be getting current embellishments with your tutorial and ribbon. It'll be worth your money. All right, so today the card I'm going to demonstrate for you is the same image of Winnie and Piglet, and also, similar to it, but it's a little bit of a stepped up version and a different color scheme. So I've done a lot of work beforehand because, you know how to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So I'm not going to pull that big giant thing out here to show you that. So I've already done that ahead of time, but I'm going to show you some tips and tricks for this. Alrighty, here we go. What do I have? Okay. Pull out all my little card parts here. Oh, you will also obviously get envelopes for your projects with the tutorial class. All right, so I've started with a basic half sheet of basic beige, and I've scored it in the center, whatever that is, 4.5. I'm gonna put that aside for now. I don't want to fold it yet, but there we go. So then I have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece again of basic beige. What am I doing here? Okay, just want to make sure I got my right colors. That I run through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I want to make sure I was right side up. And I am going to, do something messy. You guys know I don't like messy. So I've got pecan pie ink, and I'm just going to tap my blending brush in here. And sorry, I have to take a deep breath for this. Okay, and I'm just going to rub it on here. And I'm going to get the raised areas of the embossing folder to pop up a little bit. And then I'm going to get a little bit of the background, a little bit of the pecan pie color. It just gives it a little bit more texture, makes it stand out a little bit more than just having this like flat uncolored background. I like the flat uncolored black background, but this gives you a little bit more oomph on it. So let me turn this around. You can see I'm starting off the paper and coming on so I don't get a big blob. That's what all the huffing and puffing breathing was about, because I always, no matter what I do, I always get a big blob, and it makes me so sad. Let me turn this again. I'm going to go back over the trees. Now, you could do, if you wanted, you could do the trees, maybe an old olive, put an old olive swath through the middle of here, but you don't have to. Okay, I'm just doing pecan pie on, how's that look? On the basic beige. Yeah, that looks good. It kind of gives it a little aged look, a little antique look. Lynn and I and my daughter went antiquing yesterday, and we got some really good things. I only got a tea towel, but Lynn got a piece of furniture to finish, and my daughter got a bunch more things for her apartment to decorate. She loves like 17 and 1800s fashion prints to hang on her wall. What am I looking? I'm looking for something. Yes, I am. I'm thinking. Oh yeah, I wanted to get the embossing folder back here. If I remember where I put it, it's right in front of me. So I want to bring the embossing folder back again, because if you're making a bunch of cards, you could put a half sheet in there, run it through, then take it out and cut it in half, and you would have two 100-acre wood background pieces. So you don't have to cut it in the 4 by 5 1/4 and run it through. I did. You could. But if you wanted to, if you're mass producing, you can do 2 at a time and then cut them in half at the end. All right. Whew. That was good. All right. So what do I want to do now? Let me look at my sample card to see what I want to do next. I think I'm going to do some coloring. I'm going to put this aside. I've already stamped this and I cut it out. So I'm putting that aside as well. I already stamped and cut out Piglet and Winnie. And I'm going to bring in some Stampin' Blends, a blending pen, and some Golden Glow ink. I'm going to squeeze the ink pad. Remember we used to do this? We can still do it in the new ones, because I did not buy the blending pens for the in colors. That's just the way I roll. So I'm going to, I didn't buy the stamping blends for the in colors. So I'm going to use the blending pen and color my little Winnie the Pooh here in Golden Glow, one of our new in colors. I will say that this technique doesn't blend as nicely as the blender pens, but you can, if you are a better colorer than I am, you can get a nice blended effect. Me, I am like those 2- and 3-year-olds I used to teach in Sunday school, and I would give them a paper and say, oh, let's color this picture of, I don't know, Noah and the Ark. And they'd go, done. That's me. That is me. I am not a color it in, make it look spectacular. I'm a color it in and get her done. Lynn is a colorer and makes it look spectacular. Okay, I think that looks good. That looks pretty good, huh? All right, I'm going to clean my brush and done. Now I'm going to go over to the Stampin' Blends, and I have, let's start with this one. I have Barely Blush, I think. Nope, Dark Petal Pink. And I'm going to color, am I? Is that the one I started with? Yes. I'm going to color Piglet in Dark Petal Pink. And he does not look very piglet colored, does he? He just kind of looks dull. So the beauty of our Stampin' Blends is that they blend. So now I'm coming in with light Flirty Flamingo. And I'm going to color on top, and I'm going to blend light Flirty Flamingo with dark Petal Pink. And I am going to get a better color of Piglet. And then if I thought that was a little too bright pinky, I'll come back and I will color back over with the Petal Pink. So you see you can blend those two colors together and get a color you like. You could also use, if you bought them, and I didn't yet, the Barely Blush Blender Stampin' Blends. I'm sorry, I stuttered on that. All right, now I think I got a light old olive. Yep, one of our standby colors. I'm going to color his little shirt with this color. And again, it's just get her done. I just want to put color there. It doesn't have to be like, 40 dimensions of Piglet. All right, so he's good. Pooh's good. All right, and then here comes another. Take a deep breath. So this is one of the labels. I cut it out of the basic beige. Oh, I want to show you something. So I used the new style pad. I used the current style pad. And now I'm going to use the old style pad. That was not intentional, it just happened that way. So now I'm going to stamp the sentiment in Early Espresso and onto here. Sorry, I need to put it down so I can see it. And it says, old friends are the best friends. And let's see if I can, see if I can get in the center and straight. Can I? Can I? No. Let's try it again. Hey, look, I cut out another one. All right, this time I'm going to stand up and look over. Yeah, that one's better. Phew, it only took 2 times. Yeah, I cut out 3 of them. I figured it was going to take me a bit. All right, so now we're ready to assemble. So what I'm going to do here to assemble the card is I'm going to put about 1,000,000 dimensionals on the back. So normally I'd put 4 on, 1 on each corner. Oh, I hope my very thick nails will be able to take this off. And then I'm going to hold the linen thread on with another dimensional. So this is how I want it. Yeah, I'm going to put it down here. I was just making sure what was the top and what was the bottom. You know, we've all made a card upside down, haven't we? Tell me I'm not the only one. Oh yeah, that's easy. So take off all my dimensionals. Okay, I probably should have cut the linen thread first, but I didn't. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, you know, Lynn draws on the back of them to see whether she took the backs off. This is how I tell. All right, because I'm lazy. So I'm gonna cut a piece of linen thread that's a little bit longer than that. You know, linen thread is such a standby. Oh, look, here's my little tip for this. I always cut a little hole, a little slit there, and then stick it down in there, and it kind of holds it so it doesn't unravel. Bonus tip for you. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of it here and stick it to that dimensional. Wrap it around the front. Hopefully it's in the right place. Stick it back here on this dimensional so it holds still. So that's how I adhered the linen thread to the back of the card. And this is why I kept the card open, so I can see where I'm putting it. So I fold it with the valley side up. So I'm going to put my layer here so I can see where it is, so it's straight. And then I will fold it this way. And if I knew where my bone folder was, I might use it. Probably won't. I didn't bring it out, but it was right in my little thing. So there, that's like nice and straight there, she said. And you can, did you see how I adjusted? If it's not straight across, you can adjust it a little bit. That's easy peasy. All right, let's put some dimensionals on this piece. Oh, well, that's just a backing. That means there must be a naked one on here somewhere. Oh no, they both came. Here we go. So talk amongst yourselves while I'm peeling off this. All right, so this is just gonna go right here in the middle. When I first made this card, I colored in these hearts. I did not like that, so you're not getting in any colored in hearts. And then I'm gonna put some more, oh, hello, dimensionals on Winnie and Piglet. You just need 3, 1 for Piglet's belly and 1 for the top and bottom of Pooh. Ew, that's stuck to me. All right, make sure that they're kind of straight. That he is not straight up and down. They're kind of like, you know, he kind of leans off to the side. So I'm looking at their feet to see where the ground would be and sticking that there. All right, now, I do. So then I'm bringing my label piece back, and guess what? I'm going to use some more dimensionals and put that on with dimensionals. Beep, beep, bop, boop. And stick that right on top of my linen thread. And now let's embellish it a little bit. So I'm going to take a little bit more linen thread. I don't know, this stuff, I have so much of it, so I'm not even worried about whether I have enough or not. I'm going to take my tweezers and lift this up a little bit. And so I can stick it under there. Come on, left hand, you can work. It's not that hard. Come on. You, I guess it is lefty. Come on, come on. There we go. I'm a righty, and my left hand does not work as well. But I'm just lifting it up so I can get the linen thread under there. She says, like, that's going to work. Okay, yes. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It did. And now I'm just going to tie, well, I'll tie a little knot because I can. Just going to tie a little bow. Like right here. And maybe I'm going to tie a big bow and then make it small. Oh, come back here. Fine. I will use tweezers. Burp. I almost yelled at my cat. Whenever I do anything wrong, I yell, Toby. So here I was almost going to yell, Toby, because I messed it up, but it did not. Okay, there's a bow. That's good. That's good. There we go. That's cute. All right, so still need some embellishments. Wish I had some other ones other than these, but these are still current, and I'm going to use them. And they are called flower accents, which kind of goes with the 100 Acre Woods. I will probably get some in-color butterflies for the... I will definitely get in-color butterflies, but I may get more for the... Why did you not come off? For the class. All right, so I'm going to put a biggie one here. And hopefully this little one has some sticky on it here. And another biggie one. I don't know. I'm going to put it down here this time. I always kind of like feel like it's putting a period on it. So there we go. There's the little card. And that used almost everything except designer series paper from the suite. Now let me show you the mega suite again and very quickly talk about the tutorial and the 3 options. So in the whole Silly Old Bear suite, you get 2 stamp sets, 2 die sets, DSP, and the 3D embossing folder. And that is for the class. You would get all of that, plus all your supplies, embellishments, cut cardstock, cut die cuts, I said embellishments, envelopes, for 4 projects, plus a 3D project for $150, plus whatever Stampin' Up! Adds for your shipping and handling. And you're going to get the full color tutorial and the YouTube. So if you don't want everything in the suite, but you do, I'm just saying, it's so cute, you do. You just want one or the other of the 2 stamp set die bundles, then that's $80. And then if you've already bought it or you're already planning on buying it and you just want to buy the tutorial, which you would get the tutorial, and that would just be the paper, well, I'll mail it to you, that PDF and the link to the video. So it's $15 for just the tutorial. That's the PDF plus the link. It's $80 for one of the bundles, plus the supplies to make the projects, and it's $150 for the whole suite and all the project pieces. So I hope that makes sense. Again, we'll be putting this out in the newsletter and a separate email because I know it's a lot of information. But it's my Silly Old Bear tutorial and online class, and it will be running starting when you can order it, which is July 15th. So, again, let me bring back my cute little cards. This is the one I made today. No, I like the one I made today better than the sample one I made. So here's a couple of little cards. Again, the class is going to be very much stepped up from that. And I think that's all I have for you today. I think Lynn may be back next week or the week after, and maybe I'll pop in here and there. Thanks for watching. Bye.